We are back at bigleaguepolitics.com, and we are joined today by Rehl, the Philadelphia man who set up the We the People rally, and he got a surprise after he did that. Zach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Zach, can you walk us through what happened? You started this rally, but Antifa wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, well, pretty much it was just, I've done other rallies in Philly before, and there's really no difference. It was a We the People rally. It was to celebrate the Constitution, president, whatnot, and conservative values and everything. And they caught wind from it probably about a month and a half ago, and they started a whole pushback campaign where they were looking to bust people in from all over the area just to beat our hopes down and whatnot, and just keep us from wanting to do them again. And the night before, well, actually the morning of the rally, my wife was sitting home with a friend, and just next thing you know, Brett goes through the window and hits her in the face. And she ran outside to find Nazi spray painted on the wall and everything, and a white pickup truck peeling out down the street. So it's another tactic by Antifa. It shows the lengths that they'll go to try and silence conservatives and everything, and it's quite disgusting as well too. I mean, I got a kid, my wife, and everything, and it could have went a lot worse, but I'm thankful that it's not. It didn't, but still, these are the kind of things that they do, just to shut people up realistically, and I don't think there's any lengths they'll go to try and do that.
So, what time of day did this happen?
It was 12:40 a.m. Saturday morning.
Okay, 12:40 a.m. So, were you in the house at the time?
I was not, no.
Okay, but your wife was in the apartment.
Right.
And your child was there too?
No, fortunately she wasn't there that day. She's kind of young. She's a teenager, so wouldn't want her to go through that, honestly.
And you said it was a white pickup truck that was peeling down the street after this happened?
Yes, correct. So
now, do you have some evidence that Antifa actually doxed you?
Oh yeah, they've done it before. They did it back in August. I did a Blue Lives Matter rally for honoring the police and everything in Philly. They posted up flyers all up and down Market Street, and they've also on their little local Antifa pages. They also posted addresses and just general information about me. And I also run a page called Sports Beer Politics, and a lot of their trolls would be on my page. And back in August, somebody said, I actually have a screenshot of this. They put my address down and said anybody who throws a brick through Zach and Amanda's window gets a cookie, and the only good cop is a dead cop, and to ask my worthless father that. So yeah, I do have screenshots of that as well. So it was a premeditated thing. They brought it up before, and somebody followed through with it this time around. So tell us about the Philadelphia Antifa group. How do they operate? How big are they? They're pretty big. I've heard rumors that they're one of the bigger ones in the country. They don't really get too much resistance towards them as far as rallies are concerned. It's not like Portland or anything. Portland seems to have I wouldn't say balanced, but it's like a melting pot over there. But over here, they have a lot of big numbers. They have a lot of local meetup spots that they hang out at, and they pretty much organize and mobilize on the fly. If something happens, Donald Trump makes a tweet about something that they don't like, they can have usually 100, 200 people down in Center City, Philadelphia, in just 2 days. So they're pretty well organized as far as I see, and yeah, I mean that's really it. I mean, I think they're a pretty big organization out here. So.
And did police know about them? Are they monitoring this group?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They definitely know about them. They're not really big fans of them at all either. The police in Philadelphia, they do a really good job of keeping Antifa away from conservative rallies and whatnot, and trying to keep them from just attacking innocent people for no reason at all. But they're not fans of Antifa. They're well aware of them. But the problem is it's a very Democrat city here. Our district attorney, he used to be a lawyer. He used to sue the police department all the time. So there's kind of a clash between the Philadelphia police and the district attorney's office, as well as the mayor's office. So it's a lot of corruption going on. Antifa kind of has the backing of the mayor, but but the police hate them at the same time. You know what I mean? So it's a real crappy situation for conservatives and police and everything. it's just nuts.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we're seeing that across the country. In Chapel Hill, North Carolina, in Charlottesville, Virginia, and elsewhere, there are government officials and law enforcement officials who are, complicit with the Antifa mobs that go around and try to destabilize these places. And these are national networks. You, though, are not going to be intimidated. You actually held another rally the next day?
Oh, well, you're talking about, I had a Blue Lives Matter rally, and then they didn't intimidate me. I ended up basically creating another one, and that was the one that just passed. That was the We the People rally. So, no, I wasn't intimidated by their threats. So like I said, when they threw the brick through the window, I wasn't intimidated. I still showed up to the rally anyway, because, what can you do? I'm not going to be intimidated by these clowns. So.
That's right. Fear is a demonic emotion. I'm not going to be intimidated by these clowns. I like that. That's a good quote. Now, what do you have to say? I mean, Tucker Carlson, they went right up to his front door, and while his wife was there. So obviously, these people are doxing conservatives around the country and organizing and threatening. What's your advice to the many people out there, the Tea Party people, the conservative people who are engaging in activism to try to save our country, and yet these enforcers, and I think these people are, by the way, useful idiots, because Jeff Bezos at Amazon is not going to give up his money and submit to socialism, okay? George Soros is not giving up his money. So if these people think that they're agitating for socialism, they're not. They're really just being used as the enforcers for the central planners and the people who really control things in our corporate world. But anyhow, the point is, what's your advice to people out there to not be intimidated by Antifa?
Well, first of all, from my experience dealing with Antifa over the last year and a half, is they act like they're a lot smarter than they are. They're really not. Like they don't have access to like government files of people. They get all of their information about people off of social media. So one of their prime ways of intimidating people is to basically just find out what you leave out on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, and they'll use that against you. They don't know anything that you don't put out on social media. So like my best advice really is, if you want to avoid trying to get intimidated by these people, is to just lock your profiles down, make them private. Because as long as your Facebook's private, you don't have your addresses on there, you don't have your workplace on there, then they can't get you. All they're doing is guessing at this point. They can try and gather other information on you outside of that, but really, a lot of these guys are just basement dwellers living in their parents' basement, going on Facebook, Twitter, and just seeing what you give up about yourself. And when you do that, then you put yourself in harm's way. And that's what really makes things risky for yourself. So definitely lock up all your profiles if you want to get engaged in this kind of activities, and just don't give them any information at all. That's it. I mean,
that's a good point you make. They are basement dwellers, and if they actually did cross the line and make good on one of their threats and actually committed an act of violence on a significant level, I have to think these people would be terrified, both at law enforcement coming at them and at the public reaction at something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, when I shared an article to a neighborhood group of mine, and basically there's a lot of trolls, a lot of Antifa coming out saying praise the brick thrower and all kinds of terrible stuff, like, oh, too bad it missed his wife's head, and oh, it should have hit his kid or whatever. But a lot of people in my neighborhood, there's a lot of conservatives in my neighborhood, and they seen that and they got outraged over it. So they actually started doxing some of these Antifa people back, and they all of a sudden just started to flip the script, because they're just as terrified of any of this as just the average person. So I mean, you throw back their tactics in their face, and then it's they get terrified over it. They don't want to be doxed either, and then they certainly don't want to go to jail either. So if one of these guys end up getting caught doing what they're doing, I guarantee their mom and dad aren't going to be too happy about it. And like you said, they're going to be just as terrified over it. So.
Yep. And then no more allowance.
Yeah, no more allowance.
No more allowance. All right, Zach, you are a brave man. Where can we hear more about? Where can we go to your page and find more about what you're doing?
Sports, Beer, and Politics 2. I got the 2 on there because we were initially shadow banned a long time ago. So we had to create a loophole to unshadow ban ourselves. So we made a second one, merged the old page in there. But Sports, Beer, and Politics 2. You can find all of our, anything we do in the future. Just past posts and whatnot, chances are you probably agree with everything. You know, if you're conservative, you agree with a lot of our views as well. You know, so we're all in this together. You know, so.
We are all in this together. Zach, say hi to everybody in Philadelphia on the conservative side. Sorry this happened to you, but keep on keeping on, my friend.
Thanks. Have a good one.
All right,
Have a
see
good
ya.
weekend.